and that it could take weeks, if not longer, for maritime traffic there to return to pre-war levels. And this comes down to two factors. Number one, the issue of clearing the Strait of mines, and number two, the logistical challenge of getting through the backlog of hundreds of ships and tankers believed to be still stranded in the Gulf. Now, earlier, I spoke to Captain Samanth Baktavatsalam, and he is a shipmaster of a tanker. In fact, I spoke with him about 3 weeks into the conflict. He and his crew were stranded inside the Gulf. He has since been able to transit out of the Gulf. He's currently on leave and visiting family in India. But I want you to listen to what he had to say about the reopening of Hormuz. Watch this.
It is not just get up and go when the traffic light turns green. It's been mentioned, or it's not definitely known, the dangers posed in these straits by the mines, which they claim to have laid, or it is always everyone watching who will be the first to transit. There have been some dark transits in the news, but once everything settles down and it's official that ships can safely transit, then it will become a logistics issue mainly.
Look, clearing the Strait of Mines is a long and complicated process. It's not known exactly how many mines are in the Strait of Hormuz, and experts say once a minefield is detected, it will take weeks, if not months, to be able to remove the threat. And then, as you heard just then from the captain, there's the additional issue of getting through the backlog of hundreds of ships. According to data out this week from Kpler, there's an estimated over 700 ships that are still stranded in the Gulf, including about 200 tankers. Now, I also spoke with a seafarer who is still stranded in the Gulf. He is also a tanker master. He and his crew of about 22 seafarers have been stranded on their ship in the region in an undisclosed location since even before the war began. And I spoke to him by phone. The connection was very patchy, but I had the transcript. And this is what Captain Abhijit Chopra told me. He said, quote, "Getting back to normal will take time. It will definitely get back to normal. I sincerely hope people will be behind us and that we can move forward and that the blockade of Hormuz will be behind us like the days of COVID," unquote. And Omar, he and his crew, they are just one of the estimated 20,000 seafarers that have been stranded in the Gulf as a result of this conflict in a crisis that the United Nations has called, quote, unprecedented. Back to you.
And it's one where, as you point out, and as these captains point out, that even if someone says, all right, the Strait of Hormuz is now open, the time that it takes to actually get back to normal operations is going to be quite some time. Kristie, Stout, really appreciate the perspective and reporting.